Hello and welcome back to another student interview. My name is Adam and I'm sitting here with Hamodi. He is going to basically just give us a bit of an insight into how he, one, started his agency, and two, kind of where he's at now, what has worked for him, and how he's been able to scale it up. Because he's had quite a few clients come in a short period of time, quicker than most people, to be honest. And it'd be really good just to see what has worked for him. So, Hamodi, thank you so much for hopping on, man.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you. It's a pleasure and it's an honor for sure. I never thought I would be here in a pretty short amount of time, like you said. But it's been definitely a journey since I joined in back in like mid-November. I think maybe in the beginning of November as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, it all started. I saw you on TikTok, I think. Saw one of your videos, and it was pretty good, and you got some solid advice. So I gave you a follow, and then I saw that you had a program as well. So I was a bit here and there, thinking about it. I've been in the more of like the industry, in like the marketing or content creation for a long time. So I've seen a lot of influencers selling courses, of course, but I decided to join yours because of the results, of course, that you posted and things like that, and also the value that you give. Um, so I did that, and I mean, your program helped me just kind of wake me up or give me like almost you put on like a pair of glasses on me what I was like blind before, and then I could finally see after like I gone through the program. So before I used to do content creation, almost like an influencer or content creator in the men's fashion industry. I used to also freelance. So I used to just be a graphic designer. So I used to just do logos, banners, any kind of graphic design work. I used to do also content creation back in the days when theme pages was around. So I used to building theme pages as well. So I had that type of background of understanding the posting content, hashtags, all that stuff. But I never really paid attention to like go further with it. I was like, yeah, the best that I could do is maybe be a freelancer, but it was just so much, and you can definitely relate with that. And anybody watching it as a freelancer right now or a freelancer previously, it really takes up a lot of your time. Like I used to do maybe a logo gig for maybe $10, and that client will just be on my back all day. Like I would send in the logo. Oh, I don't like this. I want this out. Yeah, fast forward, I actually also like joined a bunch of friends to start a marketing agency. I had a friend that already had, but he wanted to expand. And since I was in graphic design, all that stuff, he wanted me to be head of design. Funny enough, I joined and I actually never realized we were a social media marketing agency until I left because it didn't really work out. So I was back again as a freelancer, creating content. And then when I joined, I was like, damn, I have so much like in terms of knowledge and advice and also results. And I all I needed is just literally like a quick roadmap or a guide. And you were literally that guide, and through the program, also the community, I kind of understood the assignment and what I needed to do, of course, to sign like the first and second client. And same year, 2021, I had already done 4 deals with other men's fashion brands or in the men's style or care industry or niche. So, I mean, after I finished, I think it was up till chapter 5, I immediately knew who I need to hit up and what I needed to say. And I previously hit them up myself and, gotten, the deals and all that stuff. So it wasn't really, really hard. So you could maybe say that I had maybe an easier way into it because I've worked with these brands previously, but I've worked with them. And then after that, I've created a little bit of content for them, but I've never really gotten paid. It was more like
Yeah.
commission on like, if it was like basically affiliate marketing,
Okay.
and I would just get sent a bunch of products for free. So that would literally be my kind of pay or sponsorship.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I have never been paid in terms of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna create this for example this video for you. You guys send me the products. I have the right to get commission every time somebody clicks that link, and you pay me maybe €1,000 or something like that. So I've never done that before. All of that as a package. So I just hit up a bunch of brands that I worked with. I actually within I think it was a week. I remember I messaged you. I said, yeah, I got one of my old brands, in, and they're really interested because I've left them for a long time. I wasn't really consistent with the content creation school, and I was just started university, working part time, so it was kind of hard. Um, but they were very excited. So I did that, got the first client, and that's where I kind of experienced more to be as an agency owner. Um, Before, I used to do the work all myself. I used to sit down and do everything myself. There wasn't really like a third party person that would come in and kind of give me advice. Um, but I had in contact with an old friend or a freelancer, and he was in need of work. So he doesn't really charge that much. So I told him, he can help me maybe edit all these content for me, maybe come in and kind of schedule them for me and all that stuff. And I would just do the management job. So yeah, signed the client. It was 700 euros for 3 months. And the contract will end by the end of this month. So we will update the contracts. And of course, we will charge a little bit more, but the deal is to kind of not do only Instagram, also do TikTok. I've been pushing a lot actually on a lot of my leads that I've been talking to, as well as current clients, to go on TikTok, and I've showed them past results also from other friends that I've helped, and also brands, that I've created content for them. And yes, and then December came in. That's when I actually had to get out of the country, and I live in Sweden, but I had to go visit family. And yeah, Christmas came around and all that stuff. So I got stuck over there. Internet was horrible. So it was kind of, really, really hard to kind of, sit down and do outreach all day. So someday the internet was just too slow, and, the Instagram page would crash, and all of my outreach will be Instagram. I'm utilizing my personal brand, of course. It's kind of what suits me the best. Other people maybe use LinkedIn or cold email. I've tried it in the past, and it haven't really worked for me. But within the month of December, I think it was like 2 weeks into December, got the first client. But took me about a week, to go back and forth. So I send a message, and then maybe like 10 hours later, I would get an answer, and then it would just be back and forth like that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard, but I was able to close it was also an old brand that I worked with. And actually the third client that I had was a client I've never worked before with. I just messaged them, and they were really interested. They just said, yeah, send me whatever you have. And funny enough, I sent them a case study, and they really weren't interested in the results, neither the advice that I've given them in the case study as well. I did kind of a comparison to where I, give a bad brand and then a good brand and their content marketing and all that stuff. They weren't really interested in that. They were like, yeah, just we want to get straight to the point. Give me the packages you have, the prices and all that stuff. I was like, oh shit. So it was kind of odd because every other brand that I would message, they would just message back, oh, we're not interested. Oh, we don't have a ambassador program. I'm like, I'm not trying to be, an ambassador here. I'm trying just to create content for you and kind of benefit you.
Yeah.
So I mean, they were literally on, and it was a startup as well. So they just, launched as a brand, and they sell a bunch of products, everything from sunglasses, t-shirts, accessories, all that stuff. So they were interested. They had the budget. Sign up also for 700 euros a month. And the goal, of course, is to kind of continue on, signing the first maybe 5 clients. So now I've 3, so 2 more. I would sign them for 700, and kind of have these 5 clients, get their results, document the results, the process, all that stuff. And then hopefully when I, get to the 6th and the 7th and the 8th, I would kind of, charge over 1,000 euros. So maybe 1,200, 300, I don't know, something like that, at least, because I have these, fresh clients that I've just, signed and been working with and gotten results for. because some leads, they don't want like old results, like results from like 3-4 months ago,
Yeah.
or maybe more than that. They want something that's pretty fresh and new. So yeah, that's literally how it's been. I started like the idea of going for an agency. It was back in 2020 2021, in June actually. So I just graduated high school, and I was like, I need to start an agency. I don't know. I just started, searching on YouTube, watched a bunch of videos, and I actually saw one of your videos as well. That's how I recognized you later on TikTok.
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, I've seen Adam before. Yeah. So I was watching some other guy. His name is Iman Gaji. You're probably familiar with her, but
Mm,
you're probably the only one that creative, kind of creative people that would kind of relate to, because
mhm.
all these other agencies has just been Facebook ads, right?
Yeah.
And it's never been stuck with me, like, okay, yeah, that's really what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, literally June, July, and August, I was like, yeah, we're just gonna do Facebook ads.
Of course. It's what everybody
I
thinks, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not as easy as you think it is.
Mhm.
Like I was even too cocky. I was like, yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna easily sign a client. We're gonna easily get to
Yeah.
like 5K or 10K in like 3-4 months, right? And I don't need to work part time while going to university.
Mhm.
But that was not the plan. I ended up working a 9 to 5 the entire summer, and then trying to juggle an agency after work. So I would literally get off work at 5 p.m. So say I'm like, yeah, after showering and eating and all that stuff, I'm ready around 7 p.m. or 6:30 p.m., something like that. You're done. And I wasn't working like a normal job. It was a warehouse. So I'm on my feet like 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
It was not fun. So I never saw any value in starting an agency in terms of Facebook ads or all that stuff. Funny enough, I signed an old freelancing client. I did like logo and some banners for them. And then I just hit them up. I was like, yeah, how's your Facebook and Instagram? They're like, yeah, we don't really know what to do. I signed them on, but they really didn't stay that much long. The last time I talked to him was back in September. So I signed up for a
Right.
3-month contract for about 500 euro,
Mhm.
and I outsourced the work to it was actually from Fiverr, person that I've been in contact with before, but I never really saw any like something like I was happy or proud to work with,
Yeah.
and joined your program back in November, and I saw like, yeah, creative and creating content, it's not something easy as Facebook ads as well. It's not gonna sit here and say Facebook ads is like the hardest thing,
Yeah.
but it's something that everybody can do. Everybody can start with that. Facebook ads, it definitely needs a couple of years of experience, testing, and not everybody have the money, to sit there and test a bunch of ads
Yeah.
and risk that as well.
Definitely, definitely. Like that point alone that you just brought up is really key, because most people think of
Mhm.
content and social
Yeah,
media and they think of, you'll never be able to build an agency doing that. You'll never
yeah,
actually make any
yeah,
money. Whereas like most
yeah.
content agencies that I know of, when they're done the right way, they have
Mhm.
70-75% margins. So it can be done. And I
Yeah,
was quite similar
yeah.
to you, man, where like I knew Facebook ads, like I had done them for years with like kind of side businesses,
Hmm.
and I also freelanced and did
Yeah,
Facebook ads. But like, even though I could get results, I was like, oh, just the thought of doing it on a larger scale was just like, there's so many
yeah,
headaches
yeah,
that comes with running Facebook
yeah,
ads, right? That you just don't necessarily
yeah, yeah,
get with content. Content is you create the content. If the content looks good, the brand
yeah.
likes it, and it can hopefully get them some good engagement and growth for their page. We're good. Whereas with the ads,
Exactly,
it's like you said, you're like risking money. So if they pay you 700 a month, then I'd have to
exactly.
put an extra 1,000 into the ads. And it's just
Hmm.
very hard for beginners. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm quite strong on telling people, like, just maybe don't start Facebook ads, like, unless you mentioned you have
Hmm.
2 or 3 years experience. Like
Yeah,
start with content, start with
exactly.
social,
Yeah.
build up, and you can
Yeah.
always bring it back in. You can upsell your clients to Facebook ads, but just
Mhm.
don't start there because it's a really difficult one to figure out.
Yeah, it's also similar to like drop shipping.
Yeah.
Like something I had to mention like on here. I even said it to myself. I had to mention it because on social media you have this kind of like shiny object syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
People only show like the screen of their Shopify
Yeah.
store, $200,000 in revenue or something like that, but nobody talks about the profit. Nobody talks about the hassle of Facebook ads, finding the right product, right? And same thing, even when running a Facebook or a FB ads agency, it's not even easy as well. You need to like know that niche so well, right? Um, to understand how to market and all that stuff. Man, I
Yeah.
mean, the
100%.
first time I opened Facebook Business Manager, I was like, what the F did I just got myself into, Like
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
no experience in this. And then, when I came to the program, I was like, no, I'm gonna like do content creation, even though like maybe it's not the most fun thing in the world to do for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
For your
Mm-hmm.
personal brand, it's kind of fun. But
Yeah.
for somebody else, it can be maybe sometimes, boring and hassle. But
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's the best thing that I know. And it's
Definitely.
also
Yeah.
the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
You can outsource it very, very easily.
That
And it's
right
not,
there, that's a
yeah.
key point, man, right? It's that it's not that fun, right? To like create graphics all day. But like you mentioned,
Mhm.
it's outsourcing. Like how many graphic designers can you find for $5 an hour? A lot.
A
How
lot.
many
Yeah.
Facebook ad specialists are $5 an hour? Like two, and they're probably
Yeah.
really bad, or they just
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
results. So
Yeah.
yeah, much easier to outsource, which means that you
Definitely.
can charge less money to your clients, but then you
Yeah.
pay less to your team. So you actually
Mhm.
make the same money, right? You actually make the same profit.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, and the same thing, like any other business plan, you don't need it's something that people miss is always thinking about revenue. You also
Mm-hmm.
need to think about the profit margins. Okay,
Of
profit
course.
margins.
Yeah.
I'm making profit. Okay, am I investing it back into the business? Where is the money going? People, like especially now with hustle culture and all that stuff, they think about, I'm gonna make 10K a month, right?
Yeah.
But nobody thinks about the work, right? The second you think about the work, that's when you start leaving the idea of like, no, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do it, right?
So
So
true.
drop shipping and all that stuff, it works only when you really put in the time. And I have struggled with it, and I'm gonna, like admit it on here. For anybody that's watching, it's same thing here. It's not easy, to sit
Mm-hmm.
all
Yep.
day and do outreach. Like I started doing outreach 5 a day, and then I said, this is not gonna work. I need to push more. So I
Yep.
started doing 25. But then I got, of course, banned because Instagram doesn't want you to spam their
Yeah.
DMs. So I put it down to 15 a day,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there, I just continued and had the consistency, and that's the most important thing, is consistency. And also another
Yeah.
thing, it's one thing that I did as a big mistake is comparing myself. Comparing
Yeah.
myself, my success, my position to somebody else. Um, after I'm Before I mentioned that I have joined an agency with a bunch of friends. When I was not making any money, like as an agency, when I started my agency, my friend
Mm-hmm.
would come hit me up. Yeah, how's everything going? It's been a long time. I was like, yeah, everything is good. I was like, yeah. How was your agency? I kind of get, not jealous and at some point maybe, but I kind of get that, hunger. I get angry. I'm like, why am I not doing anything, right? Why I'm not getting the results that he's getting, right? So I started comparing myself, and he was like, yeah, man, everything is going well. We signed a bunch of clients, yada yada yada. So I was like, yeah, I'm doing something to myself, and that is just comparing myself. That's very, very wrong. So
Mm-hmm.
best thing
Yeah.
to do is just put your head down and only focusing on growing and watering your grass and not somebody else's, or looking on how they're doing it. So
I love that,
that's
man.
definitely some advice for anybody watching, of course.
Yeah, that's great, man. Because I think a lot of people who do watch this content,
Yeah.
they may already have started an agency. Maybe they're not getting any results. They don't have any clients. But a
Yeah.
lot of people are just curious. A lot of people are very interested in everything.
Yeah.
dropshipping, e-commerce, Amazon FBA,
Mm-hmm.
influencer marketing, SMMA. So,
Yeah.
it's good to kind of hear that feedback. I did dropshipping, I did e-commerce.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
probably played around with some similar stuff as well. You've done the whole influencer route, and like, it's just good to get that perspective, I think, because all these things can work. I'm not going to sit
Yeah.
here and say, hey, the only way to make money is with a marketing agency. No, like, you
No,
can
no.
make money with anything, but
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
just certain business models that one require like a lot of money to start,
Yeah.
or they require like a huge level of expertise in
Mm-hmm.
something like Facebook ads or
Yeah.
website development that you're just naturally not going to have unless you were a web developer or Facebook ads expert for multiple
Mm-hmm.
years. So yeah, it's just one of those opportunities where you can start this. You don't have to be a genius. I'm not the best content creator in the world. In
Yeah.
fact,
Same here.
my team do all the content, and that's
Yeah.
because I'm not the best. But it's just an easy service that people want and people need, but you're giving them such convenience in that they don't
Yeah.
have to deal with freelancers. You deal with the freelancers, you sort everything out, you just package it up, give it back to the client. And, as long as you can get whatever they wanted from the service, they're going to be
Mm-hmm.
happy. So if they wanted
Exactly.
more followers and you got them more followers, awesome stuff. So yeah, man. So like you said 3 clients. That's roughly like 2.1k euro
Yeah.
per month, I
Yeah.
believe, which
Yes.
is awesome. Like that's within roughly like, let's just say 60 days, which is phenomenal. It's really, really
Yeah.
good, man. You
Yeah.
also did it during a period where, Christmas is a really slow period for an
Mm-hmm.
agency. Like it's very rare to sign clients like mid to late December. So like you
Yeah.
kind of have a 2 week period there where you couldn't really sign any clients. So yeah, man, I just want to say hats off to you. You've done an
Thank
incredible
you.
job.
I really appreciate it.
But also I want to say that,
Yeah.
you didn't just join and never speak to me and my team. Like you actively reached out to us, you ask us questions, you
Yeah. Yeah.
you let us know like if you're struggling with like your outreach or if you're struggling with a proposal for a
Mm-hmm.
client. I think that's really important because if
Definitely.
for anyone watching, if you join my program or somebody else's program, it's what you do with the program that matters, right? It's
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
program that's going to take you from 0 to 5 or 6k a month or
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's going
Yeah.
to be you taking the info, putting in the work, but then reaching out to the person involved, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in my program, we make it like a high priority. Myself and one of my team members, we reply every day to our students. We do coaching calls every week, and that's simply because I know myself, not everyone is going to get results unless they get accountability, support, and
Yeah.
feedback, and that's how you do it. So yeah, just to kind of to finish up, man, you covered so many key points. So awesome job there, man. And I think
Thank
people
you.
are going to get such a good insight, into like the
Definitely.
brain of someone who's done this really
Yeah.
recently. Is there any kind of like final remarks that you would say, mainly to those people that are curious? They're thinking, hey, I want to maybe potentially join the program or a program. Maybe it's a different program. Any
Mm-hmm.
kind of final words of advice that you would give to that person?
Um, the thing is, if you're not joining the program because of money, you have money but you don't want to put it in,
Yeah.
you're gonna eventually lose time, and you cannot buy that time back. So I had the exact same thought. I wasn't, I didn't have that much money. I was like, I mean, what do I do? The best thing I could do is invest myself, right? So I bought the program, and it wasn't just a program, it was a lifetime thing. I have a mentor. I have you, I have Ty, I have the entire community there. I could just send in a text and I get, 5, 6 responses in 10 minutes. But if you're thinking about saving money, you're not really saving, right? It's best to invest, especially if you're young. I mean, probably most people watching this between 15 and maybe 30, I don't know, uh, best thing to do is invest your money instead of clothes and all that bullshit. Invest in this. Even if this, doesn't have a long future, like a decade or more than that, I think it will definitely. But it will be a great experience, right? You get to network. There's a lot of good things in it. You learn. You're gonna have a business, a real business, not a, like dropship, not hitting on drop shipping or becoming an influencer or something like that. But this is a real business where you can kind of almost automate it, and it's running by itself without you even doing anything every single day. You're gonna learn from a lot of people, meet a lot of people, have a great mentor, have great mentors as well. That will definitely help you. And it's not only Adam's program, but probably any other program. But think people should do research and kind of do that, but think twice. If you're saving on money, you're gonna eventually lose time, and that time you can't really buy it back. When I joined your program and then I got the results, I was like, why didn't I join a lot more earlier, right?
Yeah.
Why did I do it like in September or October, right? I would have gotten results maybe by November or something like that. So that regret, you don't want to have it. But it's not a regret, but it's a lesson to be learned, of course.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
That was really good. And just to finish up, you have an Instagram page, right, where you actually post some content yourself, because you're still kind of active posting content. So let's definitely drop that. I'm going to drop it in, the description of this video as well. But if anyone's watching, you want to reach or just follow your content, follow Hamody, see what he's up to, reach out to him, let him know that you enjoyed him on this episode and the tips that he shared with us. Man, if you want to just call out your username, and then we'll put it at the end of this as well.
Yeah, it's at Hamody Omar with 2 R's. It's on Instagram, it's on TikTok. Find him on YouTube as well. Start to do YouTube videos again.
Nice.
Trying that out. So we will see how well and how long I will do that for.
Yeah, definitely, man. And look, eventually you might be able to get your team of freelancers to help you with the content, right? And help you automate your personal brand as well. So
definitely.
Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you, Adam.
For everyone watching, I hope you got some value from this one.